Happy Monday to you all. I feel very honored with your time and attention anytime you dial into a Scheffy's Sandbox episode. So thank you for sharing this space with me today. Well, I have an interview scheduled with the multi-talented Daniel Spain later today. So I first met him in Courtney Starkey's Soul Empowering Hypnosis workshop in January. But I didn't have a chance to interact with him until we were paired up in the Soul Empowering Hypnosis Level Up workshop in March. In the Level Up workshop, 2 practitioners get paired up. One will take on the role of facilitator first, and the other the client. And then for the second half of the workshop, they switch roles. So it's really rather cool to be able to facilitate a session and get to be a client oneself all in one afternoon. It just reinforces that the pairings are so divinely orchestrated because it can feel that regardless of what role you're in, the wisdom that comes through, however it does, it's meant for you. So what I will often do when interviewing for the podcast someone that I've met through a Soul Empowering Hypnosis workshop is to offer my Patreon supporters a podcast bonus of the recording of the session that I had as a client with that person. So, however, as I was listening to my session with Daniel in preparation for our interview, I felt this needed to be shared on a wider platform than with my small but dedicated Patreon group. And just a quick shout out, I love you guys. Daniel gave his enthusiastic consent to have this session broadcast. So that is what I'm sharing with you today. This is going to be a teaser for my interview with him, which I anticipate will be released next week. When I said Daniel is multi-talented, I wasn't exaggerating. He is a certified massage therapist, hypnotherapist, Reiki practitioner, Neuro Linguistic Programming Coach, and Time Line Therapy Practitioner. He is also a self-confidence and relationship coach, which really doesn't surprise me because in all of my interactions with him, I have felt encouraged, seen, and celebrated. I encourage you to click on his website. All of his links are listed in today's show notes. And I think you'll find, like I did, that it's a well-crafted website that really gives you a sense of Daniel's years of experience and his enthusiasm. You can call him to schedule a virtual session, or if you live in San Francisco, book an in-person session. So let's give some background to today's episode. Before we had been paired off into the breakout rooms on Zoom, the SEH group had discussed the theme of abundance. Then, once in the breakout room, I took the role of practitioner first. I was a little anxious and wanted to get that out of the way so I could fully just relax into my client session. As the Patreon bonus for today's listeners, I'm offering a recording of my facilitating Daniel's session. So the first half of that day's session. If you listen to that bonus recording through Patreon, you'll hear me reference the theme of abundance that the group had broached. You'll also hear Daniel mention the succulent plant and spiral, to which I later allude when we switch roles and I become the client. At the end of today's recording, you'll hear Daniel give me effusive praise, and I appreciated this very much as I was just wading into the waters of hypnosis and I felt very unsure of what help, if any, I could be in this area. What I have since discovered is what other practitioners have said over and over again. It feels like an honor to just show up and be willing to be used by God, the universe, to hold space for someone to find that healing, that wisdom that's just waiting for them. It's a date with the divine. And as a practitioner, the joy is in facilitating the introductions, and then watching the miracle unfold in front of you. In certain ways, it's so easy. It's very easy. Also, another note, I've edited out a lot of the magic because most of the magic happens in the silence. The silence is pregnant with the miracle of healing within the client. But because this is a podcast, I cut out the silences and left the audible word for your benefit, which, in my opinion, is still very powerful. The words may sound rather muted and can sound like just hollow echoes, but they're echoes of the vibrant color and emotion being experienced within the individual. I can only encourage you to find a soul-empowering hypnosis practitioner, such as Daniel or myself, or several of the guests who have been featured on this podcast, whomever you are feeling drawn to, and experience the magic for yourself. My thanks again to Daniel for facilitating this session and being witness to my date with the divine that day.
So, are there any questions or anything, any guidance that you're looking for today, or any intention that you're setting for your session?
I am kind of up for anything because I have come to sessions before with an expectation.
Okay.
And it didn't necessarily, that wasn't what the universe had on the agenda. And so
Okay.
I'm kind of cool with that. But I liked the idea of, how we heard about how the body can say yes or no.
Oh, okay.
So maybe if we can ask my body what its yes and no's are, that would be
Totally.
cool to know.
Awesome. Okay.
And then, it was talking about asking symptoms. I don't know, maybe if I've never asked about a physical symptom before, but I have this little place on my face. My mom has had several cases of skin cancer. And
Okay.
so I was just kind of curious about this space on my face, if I need to get it checked out.
Okay.
But yeah, those are just some things if they seem to naturally come up.
Okay. Awesome. That sounds great. First, and then it fills the beach. Wherever you find yourself the most relaxed and comfortable. Whenever you have this vision around you, let me know what you see.
So I'm on a sandy beach that's kind of private. It's there's rocky outcroppings all the way around. So
Just
my feet
allow
are in the
yourself-
sand.
Good. Anything else?
Mm-mm.
So just allow yourself to be on this beach. Your feet are in the sand. Maybe you hear the calm waves crashing on the shore, the sun shining upon your face. And now, standing on this beach, just allow yourself to go deeper and deeper into a wonderful, relaxed state. I invite you to call forth a violet flame and breathe and feel or imagine this violet surround you. This violet flame is all around you, and this is representing transformation and forgiveness. And now, from your heart, call forth the light of the universe or of source, divine energy, and breathe and feel or imagine this sparkling white light coming from the center of the universe like a waterfall through the top of your head into your heart, through your body, into the earth, then expanding and filling the space you occupy and beyond. And now call forth the light of nature, Feel or imagine emerald green drawing up like a geyser from the center of the earth into your heart through your feet and expand it out to fill your whole body and beyond. And now call forth the powers of protection, feeling or imagining an electric blue filling you, surrounding you, and the space that you occupy. And now, from your heart, go ahead and invite in any spirit guides, spirit friends, or any being that you decide. Whatever you choose is completely perfect. And let me know how it comes in. And let me know what you're experiencing when you're ready. Taking your time.
So it's a hawk.
Does this hawk have a name?
Edward? What came to my mind is something that I've heard in my Akashic records before, to look and look again. I'm not exactly sure what that means.
Does Edward want to take you to the Acacia records today?
I don't think so.
Well, thank Edward for giving us this information today and allowing him to let you know when you're ready to go. Is there any information that he wants to share with us right now that's relevant to our session today?
It just feels nice, like he's seeing me. I feel seen and acknowledged. I think that's what he's trying to say, is that I need to be able to do that for myself, to see and acknowledge myself, instead of waiting for other people to do it.
What are some ways that Edward can show you how to be seen and acknowledged?
To put myself in his feathers and try to see myself from an outside perspective. Because I feel as though I'm very hard on myself sometimes, that I should have accomplished more, done more by now. Sometimes I don't know the next step to take, and that's okay. But I really have accomplished a lot from his viewpoint.
Do you want to step into Edward so that he can see what he sees in you?
Yeah.
I invite you to, whenever you're ready, step into Edward's body and just allow what he sees about you to be there. And just let me know. You can take your time. Let me know whatever you're experiencing.
I feel like just the attitude of being receptive is huge. Just the bravery in being willing to see something in yourself and meet that. Just that it's about attitude, because wisdom can be a lot of book knowledge or being in your head, but some people who know a lot of stuff don't have the right attitude. and it doesn't do them a lot of good. So as long as I come with an attitude of learning and being open and receptive and curious and playful, that the universe can do a lot with that. And that's mostly what's asked of me.
What else do you see in April, looking from Edward to you?
That I'm constantly looking outside of myself for security, for clues as to whether or not I'm on the right track. And I need to just focus more, look more inward to the inner compass. Like birds, they don't keep maps, they just listen to the internal GPS. So instead of looking and comparing myself to others to determine my sense of success or progress, to keep it very inward focused, because the destinations are not all the same. And if I'm looking at someone else where they're driving, I could end up at a destination that was not my intention.
Beautiful. Anything else that Edward wants to show you about yourself, looking through his eyes?
I just see that I have, like him being a predator, that I often have my offensive posturing. I'm not so sure it serves me very well sometimes.
Anything else you see or notice while looking through his eyes? Looking at April?
Just feeling the sense of freedom of flying.
Do you want to fly as Edward, or do you want to step back into your body now and take flight with Edward?
Well, I was flying as Edward, and I think he was giving me the information that a lot of times that's where I'm meant to be, is flying and looking at the bigger picture from a higher perspective, as opposed to being on the forest floor rummaging around, not seeing the big picture. Because often I want to know details, the how of everything, and that's not where I'm going to experience freedom. It's going to be in allowing the wind to lift me, to get that higher perspective, because being closer to the surface, and I'm coming with the words nitpicking the details, and trying to figure out the how and why, and that I need to leave that up to the universe largely, and allow myself to be born by the wind.
Beautiful. Allowing yourself to be born by the wind. Coming from a higher perspective.
Yeah, and Daniel, it's reminding me that the birds often, they fly in spirals because of the heat currents and drafts and things like that, and that's how the birds conserve their energy, is like your plant was the spiral succulent, just allowing. What I'm getting is that I expect things to be so difficult, so hard, and I was really built to coast. And that's how I'm going to heal, is to allow myself to coast. And that doesn't mean I'm lazy or that I'm not working hard. It means that I'm, for me, taking the higher path and learning to trust, because I want to take all that control and put it in my own little hands. If I can allow myself to coast, because the bird's bones are not, they can be somewhat brittle. They're not meant to bear a lot like a muscle builder. They're meant to, they're hollow. They're meant to coast, to fly. And I'm getting that encouragement to relax. It doesn't have to be hard. I don't have to be constantly struggling for it to be something that matters, to make a difference. It doesn't have to be hard. And I'm getting this sense that, just like, a bird doesn't carry other birds, that it's not my place to try and save everyone, to carry them with me, because sometimes I have a savior complex where I want to be the person to pull them out or to save them, to be that Rambo that comes in and saves the day. And I'm not built for that. I'm built possibly to show others freedom by being free myself and showing them what's possible. That everyone has their individual journey, their own process of learning to trust and allowing themselves to be born by spirit. And that's the most inspiring thing I can do, is to soar, to relax, to allow myself to be carried with minimal effort, and to show how graceful and restful it can be to soar.
Are there any other messages or information that Edward wants to share?
It's just going back to the look and look again. I'm just getting the sense I do need to be alert, and I'm waiting to hear what that means, because traditionally, I feel like that's be on the lookout for a threat. I want to know what I'm supposed to be looking at.
What are you supposed to be looking at?
Signs. Synchronicities. I love synchronicities. To not be dismissive of those. I guess, just to be aware and awake to maybe agendas that are not my own, that to be conscious that there are others who are not necessarily on the same path as I am, and not to judge, but to not take that on as my own. To be very clear with my vision as to what I want for myself, what I want that to look like, how I want that to feel, and how other people's agendas, how they sit, how they fit with me. If there's nothing wrong with discarding it because if it doesn't feel right or a good fit, if I feel like I'm being manipulated or used, or someone's just not conscious of my energy, to be very mindful of that and aware. Because by being aware and alert to that, I can be on my guard, sure, and not give my energy away in places that it doesn't serve anybody.
I'm wondering if there's any signs that Edward can give you when you're awake and conscious that can remind you of these learnings.
Well, I'm seeing maybe a amber marble that looks like his eye, but I'm not sure how I would come across an amber marble in my day-to-day life.
Any other ways or signs?
A red feather. And Daniel, I forgot, what was the sign that we were asking for? Like to remind me of?
Any signs that remind you that you just need to coast, you need to fly above, see the higher perspective, be able to be true to yourself and not let others manipulate you or take advantage, and just have you be on your path and be able to soar, relax, rest, but also be getting your work done.
Yeah, I like the red feather. I like the red marble. I don't know. Is anything coming to you?
I also like the feather, and I like the color red, and I'm just curious what the red is representative of for you.
Yeah, the hawk itself has like a reddish tint to its feathers for some reason, and its eye looks like a reddish brown. And I guess the red feather seems that they're not all over the place, and it would be a very special message. Yeah, the red, just from looking at his eye, it just seems very alert, very watchful, intelligent. Is what the red is saying.
Good. I'm wondering if you're still viewing yourself from Edward's perspective or if you're back in your body.
I think that for a moment I was back flying again.
Good. So why don't you just allow yourself to fly, and whenever you need, just allow yourself to go wherever you need to go, and just let me know where you land.
Well, I landed on a pine tree, and I just find it interesting because I interviewed Megan McHugh earlier today, and she was talking about the pine trees, how they symbolize the ability of nature to transmute things. So yeah, I landed on the top boughs of a pine tree.
Is there a reason that Edward wanted to remind you about the pine tree, able to transmute energy?
Just that I've done that before. I have a tree in my backyard that I will sometimes give my pain to, with thinking that Mother Earth is big enough to take it and move that energy. I don't know. I think the pine trees can be very annoying with their needles that they shed all over the place. So I don't know.
That's okay. Is there anywhere else that Edward needs to bring you today or remind you of?
I guess I'm seeing a nest, and that it's okay to come back to sense of home, and sometimes one's field or mission field rather, it can be large. It can be the world as you're flying above, but then sometimes it's a small nothing nest with just maybe the baby bird. And so it's okay to focus sometimes on my family and the mission field being my nest sometimes as well. Yeah, because I feel like the bird, the baby bird, my daughter, she's looking to me. So I need to provide a safe, nurturing place for her and not forget about what can seem like a smaller energy wave just in the nest, as opposed to trying to make big waves, big changes out in the world. Yeah, so I'm getting just to reinforce that. Again, my daughter, I can't carry her, I can't do anything for her, but I can model and show her what strength looks like as strength relates to a bird allowing natural forces, the natural rhythm to bear one up.
Take this time to acknowledge yourself and acknowledge your attitude of bravery, your learning, your curiosity, your playfulness. To focus on you and your inner compass. You're able to provide, you're able to do your work, you're able to do it with clarity, see yourself, acknowledge yourself. I'm wondering if there's anywhere else that Edward needs to bring you today, or if he has any other messages or information for you.
I don't think so.
Allow yourself to feel your inner guidance. And if you were to know, where does your inner guidance come from? Where in your body?
I'm getting maybe my hand, my right hand.
Good. So just feel that energy in your right hand and allow the energy to flow through your right hand, through your right arm, all the way across your shoulder to your left shoulder now, and down your left arm into your left hand. And now feel as it expands up into your head, down the front of your body, all the way down your legs to your toes. And just feel this energy in every muscle, every nerve. Allow that energy to flow however you want it to. And just know that this connection is coming from within you and radiating outward, touching the entire planet, the entire universe. Just allow yourself to be in this space. If there's anything you'd like to share, you can do it now.
I just was getting a visual of, I don't know how to explain it, just being a force that was brushing across the surface of the globe with this, energy, this life force. And yeah, it just met itself on the other side of the globe and just kept going. Like it's not stopping. It's very energized.
Good. So just allow that energized feeling to be there, to know you have the higher perspective now. You're able to just relax and coast and be there and know that everything is working out. Everything is how it is. No need to add any meaning, just letting it be. I'm curious if Edward has anything else he wants to share today, or if you, April, have any questions that you want answered.
No, I think I'm okay.
Right. Before we bring you back, just take a minute to acknowledge yourself, your work. Really see the hard work that you've put in to be where you are today. The bravery it took, listening to your inner guidance, now allowing yourself to be coming from a place of a higher perspective. And when you're ready, I'd like you to send out your love and gratitude to Edward, to your soul, any other spirit guides or spirit friends that helped today. And now let them reciprocate and send their love and gratitude back to you. Really feel their appreciation for you and how much they support and are rooting for you. Take your time and just let me know when that feels complete to you.
Okay.
Great. And so now I'm going to count backwards from 5 to 1. And when I get to 1, you'll be wide awake and completely able to do any activities that you need to do. And you can also have this access to your soul connection and to Edward any time that you need it at any percentage that feels right to you. 5, bringing your attention back to the room. 4, 3, 2, and 1, opening your eyes. Oh my gosh, so sorry. I literally was like, okay, so this is a session for me too, because there are so many lessons that you got that I was like, and I don't usually take notes at all, but for some reason I was like, okay, jot this down. But then I couldn't stop writing, and I was like on this like really terrible like envelope. And so I was like, oh my God, I needed like a big sheet of paper so that I could, so I'm gonna have to re-listen to this because there were so many amazing things that you got today that I was like, oh, that's actually for me too. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that.
Yeah, I have found that in so many in situations that it's like you get paired up at exactly the right time.
Yeah.
It's for both of you. So I think
Totally.
that's so cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Good.
How are we doing on? Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's really close to going back time. So any feedback or anything you want to share or
Oh, gosh. No, I'm not going to ask him about cookies. Go. She put it on a sign and she was like, ask him about cookies. I'm telling you, she's a salesperson.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I'm like, Thin Mints are kind of my thing too. I'm like, oh shit, maybe I will have to contact you.
Daniel,
Oh
this
my
has
God.
been so cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Oh my gosh. And please, like, continue with being a practitioner because you are amazing at it. And I literally am blown away when you were like, this is my second time doing it. I'm like, there's no possible way. I literally want to get where you're at right now. So this is awesome.
Really cool. Thank you for that because I haven't gotten to the point yet where I'm feeling that pull from the universe myself to do.
Oh, okay.
I'm just here because of the universe tapped Courtney on the shoulder for me to be here. And so I'm kind of like just feeling it out. And so that means a lot, Daniel. Thank you.